about 9 miles north, you get to Providence College. That's where we are for this Big East clash between the 11th ranked Creighton Bluejays and the Providence Friars. As we look at the updated Big East standings, everyone's chasing Villanova. Crucial game because Creighton and Providence, with a victory, they keep pace with Seton Hall for second in the conference. By the way, the St. John's DePaul game postponed due to COVID issues. Happy New Year, everyone. Brian Custer alongside my partner, Donnie Marshall. This should be a really good game. You've got Providence, who got arguably the best duo in the country, taking on a really skilled Creighton squad, but they haven't played in like 9 days.
Yeah, well, you have contrasting styles today. Providence is going to grind you down, beat you up a little bit, throw that ball inside. On the other side, when you've been off 9 days, Greg McDermott, you got to rely on your veterans. 5 starters in double figures. Should be a great one today, folks.
Let's get right to the starting lineup, brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Of course, for Providence, David Duke, third leading scorer in the conference, and Marcus Zegarowski for Creighton. He's the Big East preseason player of the year. The officials for today's game: Brent Hampton, John Gaffney, and James Breeding. This is the 28th meeting between Providence and Creighton, a series that dates back to 1961, and it's the Bluejays who control the tip in the visiting blue.
Normally would say you got to think about how you start the game offensively. For Creighton, it's all about the glass. In their 2 losses, they are -20 on the boards. You got to focus there.
Here's Bishop. Little jump hook, short.
That's exactly what Providence wants, too. One-on-one against Nate Watson. They'll take that all day long.
They're looking inside to Watson. And Creighton, ranked 11th in the country. And they swing it to the corner. Bynum with 5 to A.J. Reeves, and he'll pull for 3.
It happens a lot to Providence. Late clock, trying to find someone, find that release valve. Great defense by Creighton.
Zegarowski. The 3 is good.
A lot of people have talked about how Marcus Zegarowski has struggled. Listen, his numbers are pretty similar right now to what they were last season, but the expectations are different for him preseason. Big East Player of the Year pick, and he's still probably thinking about that meniscus surgery he had at the end of last season.
Had it right before the Big East tournament and still finding his way. And there's Greg McDermott, the head coach, now in his 11th season at Creighton. Returning 4 or 5 starters, 5 of his top 6 scores from last year. Of course, he won a share of the Big East regular season title last season with Creighton.
Going to his young fella right away. That's what happens when you're playing against a guy like Nate Watson, who you know is part of their offensive set for Providence. You have to fight fire with fire.
From the corner, double D, David Duke.
Kid's special. I mean, just really knows how to let the game come to him. Doesn't need the ball in his hand too much to affect the game.
Last week he was the Big East Player of the Week, and he has just been sensational, putting up 20 to 25 every game, it seems like. He's got the rock again, spins, and that one's rejected.
Just a little off balance there, but that's great defense. You know, create some offense with your defense. It's a tough one. This is what Creighton does, though. They just keep coming at you, regardless of their size. They really do a great job of helping a teammate defensively.
Here's Bynum. Back to Duke. Nichols from the corner. Snag by Jefferson, Damian Jefferson. They tried to go inside to the freshman. And a block on Marcus Zegarowski.
It's a tough take. You don't see this being called for the defense too often. It's just out of position.
Ed Cooley, his 10th season at Providence. He's 10-8, by the way, against Greg McDermott and Creighton in his career. Here's Watson. Little jump hook, rolls off. He got his own board, though. And the foul, and he'll go to the line.
For his size, he really is nimble, does a good job of keeping it simple. One power dribble up strong, follows his own shot.
Talk to me about the maturation of Nate Watson, because he was a force last season, but he is really taking his game to another level this year, now averaging 19. He's got 3 double-doubles already this season.
Patience is the one thing you need when you're a big guy at this level.
Here are 3 things you need to know about Nate. Listen, all of a sudden he's become not only a force in the middle, but he's like Mr. Social Media, a TikTok star.
How about that? If he could live anywhere at the gym.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hey, every coach loves to hear that, huh?
Yeah, a lot of players, listen, at every level, they want to be great. They just don't always understand what it takes to get there. Kid tells you he wants to live at the gym. Man, I'm taking him on my team every day.
Absolutely. Providence in the zone, and they get a steal. And got numbered. Bynum. Missed the layup. Nichols got the change and lays it in.
And the size really starting to affect Creighton early.
Jefferson, good look by Zegarowski.
You know, you might want to do exactly what Marcus Zegarowski did there. Start the offense a little further out, and that'll stretch the defense out, make them come to you. The closer you get, the bigger it seems that Providence, their defense gets. They get longer, stretch them out, make them come to you, and it'll give you that look over the top.
Duke going downhill.
I mean, this is just terrific. Look how far out they are, and that leaves the entire baseline wide open and the middle. So if you make the defense come to you, it would give you that open line.
Jefferson, the steal, the finish. We're tied up at 7.
And I think Creighton's one of those teams that the last thing you want to give them is pick sixes, easy breakaways, because you know they can hurt you. Once they start getting that going, their offense going a little bit, especially shooting the ball, but you don't want to give them easy buckets.
How about the freshman Ryan Kalkbrenner with the rejection? Creighton unbeaten when the freshman has a block.
Contrasting styles. You know, Creighton wants to play fast. They're scoring about 83 points a game. Can't give them any easy ones. And look, you got to have big hands to make that pass, man. Come on, D-Duke.
I'll tell you what, lately, A.J. Reeves has been Mr. Big Bucket Maker for the Friars. Late December, at this game winner at Seton Hall, just 3. 4 seconds left to get the Friars a victory in overtime, and then gets the ball. Hits the 3 with 6 seconds left, forced overtime as the Friars prevailed in double OT by 5 over DePaul. A.J. Reeves has really come up clutch when it comes to hitting big shots.
He's one of those kids that you don't want him looking at his numbers. You want to try to gain some momentum by those shots we just showed you right there. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story. And for a guy who's a shooter, the last thing you want him thinking about is shooting the ball. Just go play basketball, and those shots will come. That's what Providence needs from him right now.
Here's Jimmy Nichols from the top of the key. Jefferson swipes it and brings it.
For their average height only being 6'5", Creighton really forces teams into doing what they want you to do, but just so many turnovers early.
Duke!
Yeah, it's an odd thing for Creighton because the ball never really gets stuck. It's usually 3, 4, 5 passes to make the defense shift, and maybe this zone is messing them up a little bit. But you have to continue to move and change sides of the floor. We've seen turnovers off of 1 pass, maybe 2 from Creighton early in this game.
Here's Mahoney. Inside the Jefferson. And he uses the left hand and banks it home.
When that zone extends, that's what when you have to catch the ball and put it on the floor. Don't be afraid to dribble into a zone. I know a lot of coaches will say beat it with the pass, but if you have ball handlers who can make good decisions, you gotta let them go to work even against the zone.
Nichols attacks the rim. Providence up 2. And inside again to Jefferson. That one knocked away.
Again, just these easy baskets for Providence. This is exactly how they want to play, creating their offense with their defense. And then Jimmy Nichols, another guy that Ed Cooley has high hopes for. You can see why. He's got length, knows how to space the floor out. He's just got to continue to put those moments together.
Antoine Jones is checked in for Creighton. Here's Mahoney. He'll pull from 3. Too strong. Tipped out by Bishop, but here comes the Friars. Duke going one-on-one against Zegarowski. To Reeves.
So even those shots, they're a little hurried. They're a little rushed. Not quite with the balance that you would want him to have from that distance.
And Mahoney again from distance. Missed it.
Love this. Ed Cooley just knows how to control that tempo. He knows how to control his team. And slow down a little bit. Let's run some stuff.
Greg Gannon checked in as well for Providence.
That old school flex offense. You learn this when you're in elementary school. It works at every level. I think initially you're thinking move that ball, but you want it to get down low. That was not the play that Ed Cooley wanted from that set.
Here's Zegarowski. Providence already with 4 turnovers in this game. Alex O'Connell will check in for the Blue Jays. Mahoney will get a breather. O'Connell, the Duke transfer.
Terrific athlete. Out here in warm-ups. Dunking the ball with ease. Still trying to figure out this system, but 101 games played at Duke. You can't go wrong having a kid on the floor for you.
14 starts there at Duke. 5 of them he started a couple of seasons ago for Zion Williamson when he got hurt. Nate Watson, look at the footwork, lays it in.
What I think what's most surprising about Providence is not the way that Nate Watson's playing, but it's that they're giving him the ball.
Zegarowski steps right into that 3. 1-point lead here for the Friars. Horkler tried the tip. Back the other way. Here's O'Connell.
It's a different feeling shooting in a building like this versus a bigger one. I mean, everything's closer to you, the seats, the walls.
Duke pulls up from 10.
Oh, my God.
Skip pass. Jones drives the baseline, and he'll go to the line.
And when I said earlier about surprised that they're giving him the ball, it's not just that they're giving it to him, it's where they're giving it to him. Look at this. He's got room to work. He's posting up correctly. A lot of times bigs will post up right on the block, and next thing you know, they make a couple moves, they're under the basket. He gave himself an opportunity to have some space to work. So important for bigs. You know, if they get down on the block, it doesn't mean standing on it, because by the time you're done making your move, you're just too deep. Nate Watson obviously has had a lot of reps doing that over his career, playing like a man.
The freshman Ryan Kalkbrenner is checked back in. Antoine Jones at the line. He was on the Big East honor roll this week. Transfer from Memphis. Knocks him down, and Creighton now with the lead. First lead since really it was 3-zip. They go inside to Horkler. Turns, fades. Here comes Jones back the other way. Euro step and missed it.
I think we're seeing some of that 9-day rust for Creighton a little bit here. Even though they have the lead, This is a team that's very skilled, very polished, even this time of the year.
That three is up and good by Greg Gant. Inside to the freshman. Brenner misses, but he'll go to the line.
Greg Gant, get on the floor. You want to do something quick. Hands low, let it go.
Big East basketball, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee Jeep. There is only one. Here's our Progressive game summary, of course, sponsored by Progressive. Get slam dunk savings today. See, Zegarowski and Jefferson have combined for 12.
But that issue still there for Creighton, though. Providence already has 6 offensive rebounds. That is what they do, but that seems to be the Achilles heel when Creighton has lost only 2 games this season. But it's one of those things that's fixable. Find a body, maybe 2.
And as prolific as Creighton is shooting the basketball, scoring, top scoring team in the Big East, one of the best shooting teams in the Big East, one of the worst when it comes to the free throw line, 2nd worst in the conference.
Just hard to understand, isn't it?
Yeah. Shoot like 48, 49% from the field, but only in 60%, 66% from the free throw line. Jarrett Bynum runs the offense for the Friars. Look what happened to him earlier.
Yeah, we can't really. We'll call that lower body issue right there. But he's out. He's back out of the training room on the stationary bike over there. They need him coming into this game. He had 47 assists to only 13 turnovers. Not shooting it great from 3. It really runs the show for Providence.
Orkler grabs the board, and here comes the Friars. Again, skip pass to A.J. Reed for 3.
It's just such a different shot for him when those feet are set. If your feet aren't right, nothing's right. And that's just how it goes for shooters. And that was much better balance than the shot we saw him take before that.
4-point lead here for Providence. We got a kick. Jefferson and Mahoney will check back in for Creighton. Sharif Mitchell checked in as well for the Bluejays. Here's Jefferson, who's been playing really well for Creighton as of late. 4 on the shot clock. Mahoney's got to get it up. And shot clock violation by Creighton. Another turnover.
Hey, the one benefit you have from no fans in the building is that your bench can help you communicate defensively.
Yeah.
And, you know, first half you're in front of your bench. That helps both teams. And Providence's bench was up and yelling and pointing and helping their guys on the floor. Terrific defensive set for Providence.
5 turnovers already for Creighton. They've been averaging just 9 in the last 2 games. Here's Horkler for 3. Got it.
Got to stay alert. You know how good David Duke is with the basketball, but you have to, you got to know where he is, and more importantly, where your man is. And Horkler just sneaks one in there. You can't fall asleep.
I'll tell you what, Providence has been getting after it defensively.
Again, take a look at their bench at home. At the top of your screen, their bench is up, and they're yelling and talking, helping their defense out.
3 now. Balak has got to shoot that 3, and he strokes it. Mitch Balak has made a 3 in 16 straight games now, and that dates back to last year.
Greg McDermott told us on call with him this week that he wishes that Mitch would be more aggressive, more selfish.
Good block again by the freshman Brenner. Oh, but just good power. Ed Croswell The junior out of Philly.
It's 250 pounds right there. It's a terrific job of staying with it and going right back up.
Balak again. Mitchell, little runner. Man, falls off the rim. Duke attacking and rejected.
It's terrific help by the freshman. Knowing where he is on the floor, but you fall asleep a little bit. Mahoney, you got to get your hand up. Orkler there just a little bit too late, knocks it down. And Mitch, Alok, the veteran, done that a lot. The big boy. Move him out of there.
Get big.
Big Eddie.
18 is our score. Providence on top of Creighton. So we take a look at the Big East standings. Of course, Nova at the top, unbeaten in the conference. Seton Hall right behind them. This is a crucial game for both of these programs because they want to keep pace with the Pirates for second place in the conference. Again, St. John's and DePaul are supposed to play today, but that game has been postponed because of COVID issues. Here's Ed Cooley. Third all-time on the Providence win list. Inside they go to Croswell, and that was knocked away. But it'll stay with Providence.
David Duke doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That one's an iffy one. You know, you don't have to force that ball inside. You can swing it a few more times, maybe off the bounce. But you can tell where they were trying to get to out of that timeout.
Here's Duke with 4. He'll pull up. Nearly another offensive rebound. Providence has got 8 of them to none for Creighton. Here's Jefferson.
Another one of those Swiss Army knives for Greg McDermott. Can shoot it, put it on the floor, defends with such great tenacity. You almost forget he's out there because they have so many other pieces around him.
Absolutely. He has been the man so far for Creighton, though.
I mean, Damian Jefferson just, he is not just Creighton basketball, he's college basketball. He plays at both ends. It's everything that you want your player to be around the country. Just, you could throw him out on the floor and he will get something good for you. You don't have to run much for him. For him to have some positive output. Terrific leader out there. Probably one of the most vocal on this Creighton team of all their upperclassmen.
You see Jared Bynum for Providence is checked back in. And Damian Jefferson out of the east side of Chicago and transferred into Creighton a couple of seasons ago, but man, he has really played for the Blue Jays as of late. Zegarowski pulls up. That's the man who makes the engine go, though, for Creighton.
He's going to be just fine. You know, you're taught as a player, you know, you don't worry about other people's expectations. It's just the ones you have for yourself. And you know, he does have very high expectations for himself. But the thing you have to remember is when you go through any type of knee surgery, there's some second guessing going on. You know, you might feel a tweak here and there, but the mental aspect of it is the hardest thing to overcome. When you're healing.
Oh, steal by Creighton, and all of a sudden they're now on an 8-2 run here after falling behind by 7.
Stepped out. That was, boy, it's a lost opportunity right there. Look, you can't run into the screen. You can't go under the screen on Zegarowski. He's just too smart. And I've continued to say it. It feels like it's a broken record every season, but Creighton just, they're skilled, they're intelligent, and they're unselfish. And that's why they win year in and year out.
Watson sets the screen for Bynum. They go inside to the big man. Double team. Nearly stolen, and it is. Zegarowski ripped it right from him. Bishop. That three by Zegarowski's no good. Jefferson, the offensive glass. Bala from deep. He's got range.
He hurts you. They have a lot of those kind of erasers on the team, but you come up with that rebound, that's the time to shoot it when someone's recovering.
An 11-2 run for Creighton. They're trying to look inside to Watson, and stolen by Jefferson. Here comes Zegarowski. And Jefferson missed it. Follows his own miss.
You're gonna have to add another another word to the attributes. They're skilled. They're unselfish. They're veterans. But boy, they stay after it. Creighton, Providence, Big East basketball on Fox. See where you are on the floor. Look, scoring is great. Passing the ball is great, but there's so many more ways to lead. And he's at that level where he should know those small things. That situation right there means I need to be an outlet for my big. I guarantee it's something they're going to talk about. Ed Cooley has done a great job with his leaders over the years. He doesn't let them off the hook. He treats them just like everyone else, and that's a play that they're going to have to pay attention to.
4 straight turnovers now for Providence. And Creighton is on this 13-2 run. Make it 16-2 after that three by Bala.
Hey, Creighton is another one of those teams that some teams play safe. They get a steal, they come down, all right, let's get a good possession here, let's move it around. They attack you. They make you pay immediately.
That three by Goodine, no good. Here comes Creighton. Biggest lead of the game for the Bluejays. And Mahoney, a shot rejected by Watson.
Momentum, momentum, momentum. It's everything in basketball. And right now, Creighton has the momentum, creating offense with their defense. They're veterans. Omaha, Omaha, Omaha.
And it's over too soon. Right, Chrissy?
Coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, the sights from the massive Big 12 top 10 showdown between Texas and Kansas. Plus, 12th ranked Missouri, they look to bounce back against unbeaten but unranked Arkansas. Brian, Donnie, we'll see you guys at the break.
All right, Stoner, thank you. Happy New Year to you. Welcome back to Providence as Creighton up 31-24 as we take a look at some teams that need to get going. Yeah, Donnie Marshall.
I mean, Kentucky, the problem is you're at the mercy of this COVID-19, because even when you start, which DePaul is seeing right now too, only 2 games, and now you stop again, not because of your team, but because of the other one. And then, look, North Carolina, Michigan State. But I haven't heard any excuses from those 4 coaches, though, other than what they have to do about themselves. There's been some excuses going on around the country, but everyone's going through the same thing. They're dealing with the same thing. Do we really worry about Izzo and Michigan State, though? March is usually when, February, March is when.
You're right about that. Spartans have got Nebraska tonight, and Jefferson's got the rock right now, and he'll pull up, and this man cannot miss.
It's just, man, we were talking about it in the break, he plays bigger. He turns the volume up with remarkably casual frequency. Just when you forget he's there, next thing you know, he's got 2 or 3 buckets in a row.
He's got 12 so far. 18-2 run for Creighton.
Right now, Providence is trying to get back into this game by doing something they don't do very well, and at shooting the three. They're only about 27, 28%, but that's the guy that you have to get going is Reeves.
Yep. Ballock misses that one. Providence 1 for 11 until that last three by A.J. Reeves.
And it's been interesting to watch Providence and how they navigate through the season, because most teams will have 2, 3, 4 three-point shooters on their team. You know, a couple of their guys for Providence and NcaaAF, they've struggled. But you can't give up on that. If you have an open shot, you got to take it.
Inside, they go to Watson, double team. Shot that jump hook strong. Here's Zegarowski. The runner, too strong.
You get a sense that Providence is searching a little bit, trying to figure out how to get back into their offense. I think they have to continue to pressure and create some of those turnovers, get some steals. In the half-court sense, it looks to me like each guy that catches the ball thinks, okay, I'm going to pull us out of this. That's not the way you get back into a game against Creighton. You got to do it as a unit, and it has to start with your defense.
2 personals on Nate Watson, so he's going to have a seat here with 2 minutes until the half. Zegarowski calls for the screen. Bishop then rolls. Now Zegarowski again and banks it home.
That's a great play. 2-foot stop. You step through, and the angle was difficult going to his right, so you always throw it up high or give that ball a chance to go in.
Marcus now in double figures with 11. From the top, David Duke.
I say probably not the pass, even though he made the pass. It's probably not the pass that you want to make if you're Jimmy Nichols in this situation. But again, David Duke bails you out by knocking down a 3.
Third leading scorer in the Big East, David Duke.
Stay active in this zone. And you have to extend it because you know right now that Creighton is feeling pretty confident about that 3 ball.
That one's on Mahoney. He's going to have a seat. Sharif Mitchell will come back in. Coach McDermott loves Mitchell's energy, especially on the defensive end. And he'll draw the assignment trying to slow down David Duke. Jefferson again, a freight train right down the middle. Reeves back the other way.
And that's how you're going to score on Creighton when you're struggling, but you got to get stops at this end. The communication has to be there.
Ballock left that one short. 30 seconds until the half, and heard Coach Cooley say slow it down for 1 shot. 4-second differential between the shot and game clock. Inside, Croswell. He'll go to the line.
Young people will learn when you're a foot from the basket, you don't need to dribble it. But just take a look. As retreating, take a look up here. This is A.J. Reeves. You got to know where the ball is. You know, you got to see the ball and be able to help. There's no concentration. There's no communication there. You just got to play basketball.
Hey, leading the way for Creighton, Jefferson, Zegarowski, and Ballock.
There's something to be said about your veterans. I know we're in an age of it's the 1 and done, 2 and done, but you can't say that, oh, well, they're here because they're not good enough to get to the next level. You got to stress that, hey, you're staying in college with an opportunity to learn how to be a winner. You know, you grow, you learn so much and you're a kid. You know, once you get out, you're done. The real world is scary, and Greg McDermott has done a great job of allowing guys to leave because they have had some guys leave early. But he does a terrific job of really telling his older guys, play together, stay together, we're going to win.
Here's Ed Croswell at the line. Started his career at the South. Coming over and transferring to Providence with 2 on the game clock. That one will stay with Providence, or I should say with Creighton, with 1.6. Let's see if they try to get a shot for Bala. He's got it. And strains it at the buzzer.
Wow. What a killer at halftime. That's momentum right there, folks. The gym is Mitch Ballock's range. Count it.
Nothing but net for Ballock, who's now got 12.
Nothing you can do about that. Just hope it doesn't go in.
Blue Jays with 3 guys in double figures at the half. 40-32 is our first half score. We're going to send you to Rob Stone in LA for the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report. Big East basketball is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. 8-point lead for Creighton over Providence as we begin the second half. Brian Custer alongside Donnie Marshall. You know, this game started off great for Providence.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden some turnovers and the Creighton big 3 started rolling.
Look, I'm not the brightest star in the sky, but I do know if you give the team that you're playing against more opportunities than you get, turning the ball over, it's going to be a struggle, and that's what happened for Creighton early on. They went through a stretch, Brian, where they had 4 possessions, 4 turnovers in those 4 possessions. Once they got it together a little bit, they started moving the ball better, and now their studs started knocking down shots from the outside. They started sharing the ball. They played Creighton basketball, but this right here is the gamer. He's the guy that Greg McDermott says, I want him to be more selfish. That's just unguardable right there, though, Lee.
Time for our first half stats. They're brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee. And listen, Creighton shooting 50% from the field, but you know, they're shooting 46% from 3. And you look at it, you've got Jefferson, Zegarowski, Ballock, all in double figures as we begin the second half. And the Friars down 8.
Well, I had an opportunity to use the lavatory area of the building, and I heard it was right by the Providence locker room, and there were some choice words that Ed Cooley had for his guys, you know, just trying to get their energy going. Sometimes when you're in a building like this, yes, it's your own building, you're used to practicing, you got to create your own energy, and I thought Creighton did a better job of that in the first half. Providence has to now find a way to dig themselves out. They're still in this game, and they can play much better. But you got to hold each other accountable and start doing the simple things, taking care of the ball, making the extra pass.
That shot by Duke is no good, but out of bounds on Creighton, so it'll remain Friars basketball. You know, Providence came into this game with 29 fast break points combined the last 2 games. First half, just 2.
When they're closing that rebounding gap is Creighton, 22-16 at halftime, and that's huge for them. You know, you don't want to give a struggling team, which Providence did struggle late in that half, extra opportunities.
Duke. Nate Watson cleans up the mess.
He just goes right through you, grinds his way around offensively.
Oh, no look dish by Jefferson. Bishop missed it.
So when you got to use that left hand, almost tried to get back to the right and put the other one on it. Just use that left hand. It's so important to be able to finish around the basket with both hands.
That three good by Greg Gant, who gets the second half start. Because Jarrett Bynum out for the rest of the game.
And another opportunity for Providence to create that offense in transition. You know, that primary break, finding a guy open from three.
Zegarowski for three.
Lot of competition. Zegarowski from Massachusetts played against Duke and Reeves, a lot of these guys from Providence, so they know each other very well. And as much as you want to stay within the confines of what your team is doing, there's some personal stuff going on out here as well.
Absolutely. Creighton recruited Reeves, Duke, so we know each other very well. Lost it.
Yeah, this is just a tough play right here. Just again, take a look at Duke right here. You run out, those hands have to be up quicker. You got to get out there and almost you're leaning towards Zegarowski because you know how good they've been from three in the first half. Now close them out, maybe make him the ball handler. You should like to recover.
Zegarowski and Jefferson, the high scorers, 14. Here's Bella. Too strong. Creighton coming in, ranked 11th in the country. Here's Watson, turns, good defense by Bishop. Mahoney open in the corner. Feet set for Reeves, but misses the three, and it'll remain with the Friars. As we look at the Big East standings, both of these programs looking for a victory, keep pace with the Pirates. And again, DePaul has only played 2 games in the conference, but their game with St. John's today postponed because of COVID issues. Villanova still unbeaten in the conference. And you know what? Our best to Jay Wright, who of course came down with COVID-19. Another offensive rebound for the Friars. Their 13th.
And let's not forget about Denzel Mahoney. He has not scored a point in this game. And you know, he's a guy that's averaging 15 points a game, team's leading scorer.
Yeah, leading them in scorings. He was the Big East 6th Man of the Year last season. Now the starter. He had got saddled with a couple of personals in the first half and sat down, but not been his best game thus far.
Creighton has never been that team to have, you know, an alpha male, one guy. They seem to always, even when Doug McDermott was here, they seem to have 2 or 3 other guys around Doug, and it's by committee, leadership by committee. One guy's struggling, someone else has to step up, and that's what Creighton has done today.
Call that one on Duke. Five-point lead here for Creighton.
Feels like it's more, though. You know, it just the momentum feels that it's a 10-point game. Just think Creighton, they feel like they're in better control of what's happening right now. That's another great play by Jefferson.
I love his game.
Yeah.
Under control, and he's so explosive as well.
Balance, got those wide shoulders. Play a couple different positions for you. defends.
Zegarowski now leading the break.
Well, here's your guy, DJ. Gotten away with a little chicken wing push off. That's okay, they didn't call it.
1964. Boy, he has had a real impact on Ed Cooley, head coach of the Friars. He said he was his mentor, someone he went to for advice. Really meant a lot to Ed Cooley. And you know, Ed Cooley wanted to pay homage to John Thompson, who passed away, of course, in November. Wore a shirt that had John Thompson on it in their last game. And you know, he's been doing, even this game, you've seen him with the towel over his shoulder at certain points during this game. And he says, I got to do that for someone who meant so much to me.
I think you realize how important John Thompson was when you have coaches who didn't coach under him and players like myself who didn't play for him that he influenced.
Yeah.
And that he was such a huge part of our lives because he knew that, and he would tell us, you represent something bigger, and that's what he always believed about himself. And that stuck with me, especially as his rival.
Stolen by Jefferson. Shot blocked. Wow. Here comes Reeves.
And that's one of those situations where Creighton is saying, hey, we got fouled at this end. Why are they getting that call at that end? Just too quick right there. Jefferson, maybe a little off balance. See why the officials didn't call that. There definitely was some contact there. It's such a bang-bang play that it's the initial emotion of that is when you don't get the call, you're going to complain about it.
So here's A.J. Reeves at 22 against DePaul. Big three to force overtime as well. Providence pulled out a double overtime victory over DePaul.
He's another guy that's huge. In Providence's losses, he's shooting under 20% from three, but lately, coming into today, he's made 8 of his last 15. So, you know, you're only as good as your last game. That's how you have to think.
Good look inside. The freshman shot rejected, but he'll go to the line.
What you love about that play is that Jefferson is the playmaker, so you're going to see him catch this ball right there and then make the right decision. And Creighton has many of those guys, so that's what makes it difficult to guard them in that zone, is they can stick 2 or 3 different guys at that high post to be the playmaker.
Block was good, but got him with the body. Kalkbrenner back at the line.
I always love that. You know you got all ball. And then the ref says, oh, he got him with the body. It's like, you can call that every single time. We're getting each other with the body every single time down the floor.
This is the Big East.
Yeah.
This is the Big East.
The body east. That's what it is. That's what we called it. You got to body up.
6-point lead for the Bluejays.
Good D down low.
Yeah, Duke is calling for him on the smaller Mitchell.
They got 3 guys around him, no waiting. Someone's got to be open.
Watson knocks down the jumper.
He's worked hard at that. You know, we expect him to catch the ball, you know, no more than 8 feet from the basket, but he's worked at that.
Jefferson misses. But follows it right back up.
That just can't happen. That's basically 2 on 4 down low. White uniforms getting outworked in that possession.
He's got a quick second jump, too. Duke steps through the double team. Kalkbrenner comes over to help.
Just not a great play. I mean, it was a double team that turned into a triple team. Someone's got to be open, and this was the play previous. Duke doing a great job. The big fella slides over. Just a little hop step into it. I like that, 16 feet. Jefferson, there's one. Look at that. There are 5 white uniforms in the paint versus 2. That is unacceptable, especially for an Ed Cooley coach team.
Season high already for Damian Jefferson, 18. Averaging just 10 on the season. Now with 8 turnovers. Here's a good follow by Jimmy Nichols.
When you're struggling a little bit, you stress the positive. Now, Providence only down 4. It hasn't been the prettiest, but when Nate Watson is that far away from the basket, he's bringing the freshman, Kalkbrenner, away. So that's 1 less big to rebound.
Zegarowski with range.
Same spot, same situation. Duke has to try to make him put it on the floor. Just too comfortable from that range with his feet set, Zegarowski.
So far, Zegarowski and Bala have 9 threes between those players. Jefferson gets a much-needed rest. Here's Duke with the handle, knocked down the 3. Ed Cooley's going to call a timeout. The Friars are scratching their way back.
Watch this. Back up, pull up, David Duke.
He loves coming back and playing in Providence. He says it's his favorite Big East city. He's from Hamilton, Massachusetts, which is really right up the street.
And a little different because you don't have any of your family watching in the building, but these are still guys that you grew up playing against and with.
Here's Mitchell. He'll bring it up. Skip pass to Zegarowski. That one nearly stolen, but Bishop got it and banks it home.
Well, Bishop's one of those guys who's undersized. He's had to play power forward, center. I mean, right now he's guarding Nate Watson, but it's nice, you know, when you're that guy who's grinding away to get a touch here and there. But very important to this Creighton team because he can play those bigger guys on a team whose average height is about 6'5". He's important.
High screen for Duke. 4 now. Reeves forces that one up.
Would love to see David Duke or even Reeves just put your head down and try to get to the rim. You know, how about a little bit of bully ball? Don't let the officials off the hook. We have some good officials here today, some characters, I should say, great guys. But you know what? Make them work. Make them blow the whistle or force them into having to make a tough shot. You're letting everyone off the hook when you settle for jump shots.
Here's Mahoney. Too strong. Good offensive rebound.
Just can't happen, though, Brian. You got, again, 5 white jerseys versus 2 blue jerseys.
6-point lead for Creighton here at Providence. Six-point lead for the 11th ranked Creighton as we take a look at our game summary. And the surprising thing is, look at the points in the paint. It's Creighton with the advantage, considering this is a Providence squad that makes a living with points in the paint.
Look, Brian, there are 2 things I know can't happen. You can't outdress Brian Custer, and you can't allow 2 blue uniforms to out-rebound 5 white. Freezer right there. This is unacceptable. This is not the way you win a close basketball game. And I'm sure Ed Cooley has told his guys that. But you're playing against a smaller team. Your advantage is on the glass. You can't stand and watch the ball.
Another opportunity for Creighton. Zegarowski, open three, and he drains it.
And that rebound, although it didn't directly lead immediately to that three, it led to that three. You save a possession if you're Creighton, and now there's a timeout. You run a great play. You make Providence pay with the three ball.
Biggest lead of the game for Creighton, which is 9-20 for Zegarowski. Here's Horkler.
Providence, again, when Horkler's in trouble in the post, a guard needs to come to that same side, strong side. Let him have vision. Don't just throw it in there and stand 20 feet away and say, okay, go to work. This is a good defensive Creighton team. You got to help your teammates out.
Duke missed everything with that shot. Creighton pushing.
They just get out of each other's way, terrific spacing, and then they come to help when they see a teammate's in trouble.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Now 4. Mahoney gets an open shot and missed it.
Still a terrific possession. You use up the entire clock. You get a good shot. Just doesn't fall.
Gant threw it away.
And this is when your leaders, Watson and Duke, have to, your Providence, step up and say, all right, guys, let's get 1 or 2 stops in a row. There has to be some communication here. I see a lot of staring at each other. No one really grabbing another jersey and saying, let's get this thing going.
Keep in mind, Jared Bynum out of the rest of the game, injured himself in the first half. He runs the show for Providence. He was second in the Big East in assist-to-turnover ratio coming into this game.
Now Watson with another foul, but you see how important Bynum is to this team. No matter how he's shooting the ball, he just gets guys in their spots. He takes care of the ball.
Here's Christian Bishop.
I know we talk a lot about David Duke and Nate Watson, but there's a reason why you're a star. It's not just because of, it's not 1-on-5 or 2-on-5. You have other guys on your team who help you, allow you to be great. In every sport, the superstars are great. Yes, they have talent, but they need teammates around them to help them be that.
Watson now with 3 personals. Inside, they go to Watson. Powers his way to the rim.
You just get a feeling that whoever catches the ball for Providence, not named David Duke or Nate Watson, they just don't, they're not sure. Do I shoot this ball? Do I get to the rim? Do I pass this? There's a lot of jumping in the air. There's a lot of shot faking, and I think the shot faking is not really to offset the defense. It's just you're not sure. You're not confident that you can make that shot or make that play. And this is when David Duke has to go to a teammate and say, listen, make a good play. Put the ball on the floor, go score the ball. We're going to be fine. You need that from your leadership.
A.J. Reeves. That is something Watson has to work on, the free throw shooting, and just shooting it at 53% on the season.
Look, we witnessed a game at Seton Hall with Providence where David Duke said, listen, if I'm not going to score, just be ready. I'm going to find you. And that's how that game ended, finding A.J. Reeves. And that is another sign of being a great leader, being to give up a shot, a good shot to get a great one.
Off that one, wide open in the corner. Moody.
And this is just terrific. Look at all this room here. You get some room for your guys to make a play, and he'll knock those shots down. You just have to keep running your stuff that way. And that happens because Providence is trying to overhelp, which is understandable. But that's what Creighton does to create shots for the teammates.
Here's Horkler. They swing it around. Reeves.
You got to go help him. Let him see a teammate.
Can't go on one-on-one. Kalkbrenner snags the board. Here comes the Bluejays.
Now he
Always
missed.
pushing.
He missed, but he was aggressive with the move. That's what you want. Just be sure about what you're doing. Have confidence in it. And Mitch Ballock is loading up from like 30 feet, and guys are aware.
Kalkbrenner, the freshman.
This is that time of the game where Providence is on the fence. They got to make a little run here.
They got him trapped. And Horkler will pull from 3.
Well, this is what you love about unselfish basketball. Guys getting touches, the young fella gaining some confidence. Important minutes on the floor, everyone involved for Creighton. The Bluejays feeling confident here in Providence.
Big East basketball is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee Jeep. There is only one 11-point lead for Creighton over Providence. As we take a look at the Big East standings, and Providence came into this season picked 3rd in the conference. Creighton picked at the top along with Villanova. And a victory today keeps them in pace with the Pirates of Seton Hall for 2nd in conference play. There's a reach around by Crosswell.
All right, so about 7.5 minutes. Providence here, again, offensively, you're going to get something, but it's got to start with your defense.
Yep.
And you got to make it easy.
Yeah.
How about some layups? How about, it's a good contest there.
And you get the feeling Coach Cooley is trying to find the answers from a rotation standpoint. Like, which one of these guys is going to give me a push here?
Yeah. And it's interesting. You know how important your players are, but you don't really get the full feel of it until a guy like Bynum is not in the game. That's when you miss someone the most, when they're not there. And you understand how really important they are to your success.
Ballock. That thing is just all net when he lets it go.
He's about 1/4 of an inch from that being a 3.
Here's Canfield. Horkler for 3. Yes.
Needed it. And again, it's coming from Duke, swinging the basketball, not holding on to it. But the comeback has to go through him without question.
Turnover. Ten-point lead. Roswell spinning. Kalkbrenner affected that shot and took it away.
And he had him initially, but he went for another fake. Once you step through, use that hoop and go on the other side of it.
Horkler with the big block. Reed has it stripped. And Mahoney gets the bucket.
That's just such a heads-up play by Jefferson there. Throw that ball ahead. just when Providence thinks, you know what, make a little run here, get a couple easy baskets or an easy basket, and now it goes back the other way.
Kalkbrenner gave some great minutes for Creighton. Here's Allen Breed, the freshman, running the show now. Duke going downhill.
He's looking for the contact there. That's a terrific play. Just sometimes when you expect the contact, you forget that the primary reason you're down there is to score the ball. And Ed Cooley's saying just that. You know, that's my star. He should get a call.
.5:30 left in the game. 12-point lead for Creighton. Nate Watson now has 4 personals. That one, and look at Jefferson comes flying in. Another opportunity for Creighton. And that one, errant pass, stolen by Jefferson.
It feels like there are 2 or 3 number 23s in blue right now. David Jefferson is everywhere. Mitchell Ballock doing a terrific job getting that ball out of his hand, being the selfish player for the team is what Greg McDermott has wanted from him, and you see why. So prolific in his shooting.
Lead is 12 for the Bluejays.
Being older than that starting 5 that the Chicago Bulls had at the start of the season, Wisconsin, same situation. Their starting 5 is older than the Chicago Bulls starting 5. But those teams that are old teams in college, they win. They've been together, they know each other, they understand what the coach wants from them.
And Ed Cooley said Indiana, most talented team that Providence has played this season, but he said Creighton, the most complete team. And they're showing it today.
Yeah, other than not having the height and the size of a lot of teams in college basketball, and Greg McDermott told us during the week that, you know, look, everyone wants to have big, tall players, but they seem to be doing just fine with their size. You know, it's defense by committee. They have some undersized guys playing different positions, but then it comes down to your system. And Greg McDermott has shown over these 7-8 years in the Big East that the system works. You don't have to be the biggest team. You know, we can be fast, we can shoot well, and do all those great things. The most important key is to play together. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. You have to be unselfish together, and that's what Creighton has been over these past 7 seasons.
So far, especially in the second half, Friars have not been able to put the ball in the basket. Last time Providence shot this low from the field was against Villanova, and that was at the dunk last January when they shot just 32%. Here's Jefferson. Forced that one.
I mean, the last time these teams played was about a year ago. Almost a year ago, David Duke had 36 points in that game. And today, so you can keep saying that, hey, they're missing easy shots, but at some point you got to give credit to Creighton's defense. Figuring out how to defend Duke and the rest of this Providence team.
Can't. With that follow-up. Now they've chipped it away and gotten it under double figures. Here's Mahoney. No, can't. Another rebound. And they call a foul on Jefferson. 8-point lead, 3:45 left in this one. Stoner, thank you very much. We take a look at our bracketologist, Mike DeCourcy, as he breaks down. Look at the Big Ten. I mean, they basically have the whole conference.
Raise your hand if you want to go to the tournament. Oh,
yes.
You didn't get your hand up. Everyone else, you're in. But, you know, you look at that and think about Indiana. They're 10th in the Big Ten. They're 6-4, but they lost to Texas, who was 17. They lost to Florida State, lost to Northwestern, who has a terrific team, and Illinois. So, yeah, you could make the argument, like Ed Cooley said, most talented team in the country. Everyone's trying to figure out how to get this thing going, right? Either stops and goes and stops and. But I wouldn't disagree with that.
I'll tell you what, all of a sudden, you know, Providence has kind of busted their way back here. A nice little 8-2 burst. Team fouls is 8-5, so you know the Friars with an opportunity to chip away from the free throw line here.
Yeah, they're just under 77% from the free throw line as a team, so they get there, they're going to make them. Just got to get there.
Lead is just 7. That one comes off. Now you can make a move if you're Providence here.
They got to have a sense of urgency. Instead of 5, 6, 7 passes, I think it's got to be 3, 4, and then get something to the basket.
Reed for 3. No.
I will say, in all fairness to A.J. Reeves, because I do believe that he's going to shoot his way out of this funk. I've seen him play enough over his short career here. He's going to get out of it. But in all fairness to him, he's taken a lot of shots that have been under duress. You know, there haven't been a lot of it. And credit Creighton's defense by getting a hand up on him. You don't want to be the team that a guy shoots his way out of the slump against.
They put the press on. And they turn it over. Jefferson turns it over, trying to dribble his way out as opposed to passing.
Ed Cooley's going to think, hey, well, I guess we could have done this a little bit sooner. But there's so many weapons for Creighton and so many good ball handlers and decision makers. You got to pick your spots, and that was the right spot.
Under 3 left in the game. Get it to Duke. To Watson. And he attacks the rim.
Now, Damian Jefferson, we've seen him do a lot. This is asking a little bit too much to stop Nate Watson at the rim, and Nate Watson just kind of takes Jefferson with him, and that's a great play, again, by David Duke. If you're not going to score, get somebody a good look.
A lane violation. All of a sudden, the lead just 4.
Every play is important in a close game, especially under 3 minutes. We don't know yet if that play is going to matter, but Jefferson can't give a guy who's struggling from the foul line an extra opportunity. See what happens.
Somebody be in the middle of the floor.
Here they come. Still with some time on that shot clock to use up and get a good shot.
5 now on the shot clock. Mahoney, tough shot.
Struggling all day, but comes up with a big bucket when they need it. Little insurance there.
6-point lead, 2 minutes left.
We're so embarrassed we overpaid for this used car. We don't even want to show our faces around here.
If you don't see me, you're not seeing the most accurate price. Shop at Carfax. You won't have to overpay on a used car again. Shop millions of great deals at the all-new Carfax.com.
Make fitness routine with Pure Protein.
High protein, low sugar. Tastes great.
High protein.
Low sugar, so good.
High protein, low sugar, birthday cake.
Pure Protein. Find our coupons in Sunday's paper.
It's finally a new year, and Tubi is turning new beginnings into two beginnings.
Here's to a crazy season.
So let's resolve to laugh more, to stress less.
Wake up! Wow!
To say yes to new things.
That's a big yes.
Oh boy.
But most importantly, to stream your favorite movies and shows for free.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Tubi, watch free.
6-point lead for Creighton over Providence. Just 2 minutes left as you take a look at our game reset. Listen, possession arrow pointing towards the Friars. Coming up after our game, Red Bull Signature Series Imagination. Providence basketball. Down 6.
Critical possession, Brian. You have to get a good look. You don't have to settle for anything long. But that ball has to switch sides of the floor, though.
Here's Duke. Oh, uses his body and he got the basket. It's a 4-point lead now for Creighton. There's the trap.
Might have gotten away with a little walk there.
Zegarowski. That one's rejected.
It's an interesting play to not pressure full court. You know, there are a lot of great ball handlers in the game today and a lot of smaller teams. Duke doing a great job using that body, staying under control, but teams don't really practice against a press. So that's why you see a situation like that where we think Bishop may have traveled. They didn't call it. Teams just aren't that comfortable. It always surprises me why more teams don't go to that.
The layup, no, by Bishop. And here comes Providence. Opportunity to cut it to 2. Buck 15 left in the game. Nichols.
Need some good decision making here. His last 12 seconds on the clock.
Duke attacks. And the follow-up rolls off by Watson. Under a minute.
Tough break right there. That's right in Nate Watson's wheelhouse.
They'll use the full clock here.
Look, you get a stop, you go down, you get a good bucket. This game's not over yet.
Here's Mahoney for 3. Jefferson comes up with the offensive board.
10 offensive rebounds on the day for Creighton. We've seen it multiple times in the second half where I assume that...
You saw Coach Cooley there. Rebound.
Yeah, the guys in the white uniforms are expecting a teammate to go get the ball.
You showed us throughout the game a lot of the guys just looking.
Providence still has a foul to give. Look, we can talk about three-point shooting and those three-point shots that Creighton made, but for Providence, it's about the glass. You have to control that glass, and yeah, they may come out on top when you're talking about their plus-minus versus the rebounding, but just at the wrong time of the game, they've given up offensive rebounds.
Yes.
And with the numbers in their favor.
Let's take a look at the Bluejays' upcoming schedule. They got another big one against Seton Hall. Kelishvili and the Pirates. St. John's, Butler, and this Providence squad once again. Mahoney misses. Watson, the rebound. Did he walk? Yes, he did.
And Cooley wants a push. Take a look right at the foul line. I don't see a push.
Yeah, I think he tripped over basically Jefferson's feet. Another foul. Let's look at what the Friars have coming up. They've got Xavier. You can see that game right here on Fox. Marquette, Georgetown before facing this Creighton squad again later in the month.
Travis Steele doing a terrific job with Xavier.
Only just cannot find it today. He's missing both of those free throws, and then Jefferson called for the foul going after the offensive rebound. And you saw Coach McDermott saying, Damian, what are you doing? Stop the clock and you give him Providence the opportunity to score some points. There's Noah Horkler.
Free throw line is so important. I know this day and age kids want to watch the NBA and they really want to handle the ball between the legs, shoot threes, but that place right there, that foul line, can win games and lose games for you. We've seen it happen so much, and it's an easy thing to practice too.
Now all of a sudden that lead is just 2. 15 seconds left. You try to get yourself a nice quick steal.
Dermott's got his free throw shooters in.
Oh, there you go. There's the turnover, the quick steal. What a play by Allen Breed. Watch it. Reaches right in and knocks it right off.
And if you're Mahoney, you got to run, take one, maybe two more steps to make that pass.
Antoine Jones lost it right off of his knee, I want to say.
I thought Jones actually came to the ball, but that ball, it came in at his below his waist. You got to fire that. Take another step if you're Mahoney and make that pass.
And the Friars are right back in it with an opportunity to tie or take the lead. We take a look here at our game reset. Possession arrow pointing towards the Friars. Creighton with a couple of timeouts. No more for Providence. So after all of that, Ed Cooley and the Friars have the opportunity to either tie it or win it if they want. Yeah, he said, Ed Cooley told us, he said, all I ask of my kids is give me the opportunity in the last 4 minutes to coach you to a win. So here we go. Horkler's got it. Drive, the hook, he got it, we're tied. Here's Zegarowski. Game on the line, he gives it to Bishop, he dunks it home. With .5 left on the clock.
And that's just great coaching right there. Greg McDermott had Bishop out of the game. Previous play, free throw purposes, and now he puts him back in. He puts his finishers in the game. But Horkler, terrific job, going strong, attacking. You know there's no shot blocker in there.
Zegarowski pushes it. Bishop trailing and dunks it home. They just want to take a look. Providence was asking for a travel, but I don't see any walking there.
This is interesting. This where we are, 65-67, is usually favors Providence, especially in this matchup. Creighton 6-0 against Providence when they score 72. They're 1-10 when they score less than 71. So it's interesting. The pace played in Providence's favor.
So they put 0.8 on the clock. Coach McDermott's going to, I think, use one of his timeouts. And once again, how about Zegarowski getting it, pushing it?
There's just so many weapons, and it almost helps that Bishop lags behind a little bit.
Because Watson went to Zegarowski.
Right there.
Got about Bishop.
Yeah, so it almost helped that you drag, and now you come into the play late. Absolutely right. But the vision of Marcus Zegarowski, huge.
Man, you go from one high to that, huh?
That was 1-2. No travel there. That was clean.
Man, what a game Zegarowski's had for Creighton. Not only dishing the basketball, making points as well. The kid is right up the street. He's from Hamilton, Massachusetts.
It's important for people to remember, you know, preseason player of the year picked by the coaches. It doesn't mean you're going to score 30 a game. It means that you're going to put your team in the best position to win games, and that's what Marcus Zegarowski has done today.
Christian Bishop, just his second basket of the game. You know, Creighton has won their last 2 games by 2 points and by 5, and now leading by 2.
Yeah, this is interesting. Greg McDermott says we don't want anyone on the ball. I like that. You want guys to disrupt. Essentially, it's 4 against 5.
They get it to Duke for the win. And it is 11th ranked Creighton that will walk out of Alumni Hall with a 2-point victory over Providence. Next on Fox, it's Red Bull Signature Series Imagination. But Donnie Marshall, Brian Custer, turned out to be a heck of a finish here in Providence. 67-65, the final. You've been watching East basketball on Fox.